Hey guys, I'm currently ways to upload better, but yeah, this is for now 6 tips. I will try to show you guys tips of now 6 location night 4. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys how to night 4. Yeah, I might have to re-upload this a lot, because this is going to be playing hard. And yeah, because this is a tough night. I don't know if you guys watch the whole hours of me doing this, guys.
Yeah, it is heartbreaking, and we're looking at live
I'm going to
pictures.
try
You're
this
watching
3 or 4
ABC's
times
live
for you
coverage
guys.
of this
I don't want you guys to
devastating
get
fire
annoyed.
that
I might upload
is
this
playing
one
out in France at the Notre
because
Dame
it might
Cathedral
be
now, 2:22
good time.
Eastern. That makes it
Yeah,
about 20 after 8 in
But I
Paris.
think 4
You
times
can
is the
see
better try.
the clouds of smoke. You can certainly
gonna
be
make
seen
it easier.
all across that city. But for those who are close, particularly like John Dickus, who we've been talking to during our live coverage, this has been quite devastating to witness firsthand. The people in the streets of Paris looking up at this destructive fire, and we've watched this fire collapse in this live coverage, and just to see the scope of the flames as they shoot up through that structure. It would look to be destroyed certainly at the top of the cathedral, but this cathedral has a storied history about surviving not only conflict but destruction before, during the French Revolution, and obviously during World War II, the liberation of Paris in 1944, the cathedral suffered damage then as well, stray bullets, snipers on the roof. This is going to be an enormous challenge for this cathedral to survive the scope of this. As you look at this vantage point, and the smoke there, I'm just taking in the pictures along with all of you at home. There are so many people who are carrying this, on their smartphones, these pictures live, and it's sort of a reflection of the times that we're in. But with each new vantage point comes the realization that much of the top of this cathedral, at least, has been destroyed. The race is on, Terry, to see how much of it can be saved. And we were talking with Alistair Bruce, as you know, Terry from Sky News, who described as a boy being able to go to Notre Dame Cathedral to play the organ. But we have discussed here how difficult it is for firefighters and crews to get there. And you can see the one hose in the bottom right of your screen. But he and so many of the other observers have said they're outnumbered by the scope of this fire.
It is really the threat to all these beautiful old cathedrals. So many of them were destroyed. I've been to Utrecht in the Netherlands, and a magnificent old cathedral, St. Martin's, brought down by fire over the years. And as you said, over the centuries, Notre Dame has survived for so long, but it has seen a lot of damage as well. The French Revolution, revolutionary leaders wanted it desecrated and vandalized, and they did a tremendous amount of damage. There was talk of it being torn down. At that time, and it was Napoleon who really led the way to restore it. He was crowned there. And then during the World War II, when the liberation of Paris happened, Allied troops coming, and there was gunfire and fighting around Paris, Charles de Gaulle, the great hero of France, the free French leader, as soon as he got to Paris, he went straight to Notre Dame. He knew, leader that he was, charismatic leader that he was, that was the heart of France. And as he got out of the car, machine gun fire up.
Little before 7 o'clock this evening, early evening at least, in Paris.
Yeah, I can't let them get away with it.
Sacred sites of Christianity is an old and magnificent church, and it has seen so much Joan of Arc is associated with it as well. This means so much to the people of France,
just to say,
to Catholics and Christians around the world, and really this is one of the triumphs of European civilization that we're watching go up in flames. It was a bold statement when it was built those 800 years ago. Imagine the most modern building you can. That's what Notre Dame looked like to the people of the time. Those soaring, flying buttresses, the roof so high that we now see coming down, took people's breath away. It seemed like a miracle. And it was all done to the glory of God and the glory of France, no doubt. And now it will have to survive this as well. It has survived so much over the centuries. It will survive. But as Alistair pointed out, it's going to take a long, long time.
Terry, as you said there a moment ago, took their breath away in the 12th century. And the images all of these centuries later taking our breath away right now. And as you mentioned, it will survive in some shape or form, but it's just at this moment.
Hey, boy.
I don't even care anymore, guys.
Oh, hey. Why you on trip?
What?
Why you on trip? I pulled again last night.
I'm
Why
dead.
you on trip?
I can't last
I'm
night.
already too late.
No, the way don't say that was pulling.
Hey, you talked to me last night?
Yeah, I don't know, but
You was drunk? I know you don't drink.
No, I can't see.
Oh.
I know your voice. You Richard.
I hug you. You don't know? You must be with
You got me too.
Really, guys? I'm sorry.
You got me
First
too.
attempt
I
failed.
don't know why you
Yep.
got kissed.
I got
Yep.
bitch.
And then Rich,
Yeah, I'm on that
Ricky
view.
came
I'm
and said,
Richard.
oh, why you
Huh?
got kissed me
I'm
too.
going to view.
I said, I
Keep
told
going.
Ricky you wanted
I'm
to
going
feel.
to view this thing.
Yep, that was Ricky wanted.
Can you
Who
see
won
the
it?
camera?
No, Ricky.
What do you want?
You wanted to feel. That's what you want. I'm telling you.
My son was deep.
Alright.
But guys, now continuing the thing. We only got 2 more tries.
The cross, the religious cross, actually fell down. So right now, it's just kind of a chaotic situation. Like there is the police, like everywhere around. Everything is bubbled up. Like you cannot go anywhere. We're actually closing the bar right now, and everything is being shut down. So yeah, this is pretty much chaotic, and it's around 600 years of history that are burning down right
You
now.
want the screen house to be
600
all
years of
locked
history,
up.
as you say. You also described the
Like the
entire
breathing
roof in flames. You know, it certainly looks
Yeah.
devastating from
We just got
the
our
images that we're seeing, but
Maria's-
it's hard to get a real scope
our
of how much
Maria's
of the
mold.
cathedral is actually on fire right now, Max.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, half of the cathedral is on fire. What you have to know is, like, because everything is in wood, the fire is spreading very, very rapidly. So we had some firefighters that were brought up by trucks and everything, and they're trying to, like, put it down and slow the fire and make it, you know, just extinguish. But what's happening is that because there is wind today, it's actually not happening at all. So yeah, I would say that a good half of the cathedral is probably coming on fire, and because the main structure is in wood, it's probably going to spread even more. So it's not looking very good right now, but we'll see.
And Max, just give us an idea. We've been seeing images here of people, and I'm not sure whether they're workers who were part of that construction project renovating that spire, but there are, for every once in a while in these live pictures, you see workers on balconies. It would appear surrounding the cathedral. I don't know from your vantage point if you can see those people, and certainly the hope at this point is that no one has been injured, but it would seem those workers are very close to these flames.
Yeah, so you're right. Actually, there were people working on the cathedral at the time, and it's probably what set on the fire. Because we have no information right now about, like, the police don't want to tell us or anything about how it started, but we are pretty sure that it came from here. But these people should be safe at the moment they're speaking, because we arrived right at the beginning, and there were actually no one on these shelves and everything. So it was pretty clear. I'm entirely sure, 90% sure that everyone is safe, but like the damage are just gonna be way more moral than probably physical.
We're seeing pictures. Max, thank you very much. That was extraordinarily helpful, and we're sorry for what you're witnessing up close and what the world is now watching. We're seeing pictures come in right now on French television of President Macron.
You gotta do this, guys.
He appears to be in this moment being briefed by authorities.
It's been going on for 8 minutes.
As he approaches the fire and is being brought up to date on this just devastating blaze now, not only consuming certainly the top part of that iconic cathedral in Paris, but consuming us all over the world in our horror and disbelief that such an iconic structure in Paris is now going up in flames. As he now arrives at the scene, we do know that he tweeted earlier, and as we mentioned, one of the ways that they talk about Notre Dame is as Our Lady, and he tweeted out, Our Lady is burning tonight. Of course, they're 6 hours ahead in Paris, which would make it about 8:30 p.m. in Paris. President Trump has also tweeted saying, so horrible to watch the massive fire at Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. He added in his tweet, perhaps flying water tankers could be used to put it out, must act quickly. The president certainly reacting to some of the questions we had early on, which was just how quickly could they get emergency relief firefighters to the scene. As you look at the lower right-hand corner of your screen, I'm really struck by some of these images. Every once in a while, you'll see sort of one hose from one particular direction. And this one in particular, taking aim at those flames. But we've certainly seen that they are vastly outnumbered in strength and in power, the sheer force of this fire. And in talking to Alistair Bruce earlier, from Sky News, as a boy going to the cathedral himself and describing the architecture, the structure, the lead surrounding that ancient wood that keeps so much of that cathedral in its glorious form is also now being preyed upon by the heat and the strength of these flames as that wood, that part of the church now goes up in flames. Again, there is certainly a guessing game at this hour as to what could have caused this. We do know there was a $7 million renovation project, the scaffolding surrounding the spire on the top of that cathedral. And our foreign correspondent, James Longman, is watching this unfold along with us. And James, you have reported on the political turmoil in Paris these last few weeks on World News Tonight for us. And certainly this is going to be just one more chapter of heartbreak for the people of France. It's been an unsettling time in that country, and this is going to really hit everyone.
Yeah, absolutely, David. They've been going through the Gilets jaunes protest, the Yellow Jacket protest movement about living standards and the rising cost of living there. Macron, as you say, President Macron has come under increasing pressure to address those issues. But time and time again, when we've been to France to report on whether it's those sorts of protests or terrorist attacks, unfortunately, over the last few years, France has been a target there. The French have this capacity to unite when things go wrong.
Really,
guys? This is certainly the night to
and I was
unite.
so close, guys.
Watching this, we've all been saying it is absolutely terrifying. We are not very far here in London from our cousins over in France, and it's very sad for us to be watching what's going on. But the French do have this capacity to find strength in the darkness, and they're going to need it here. This is absolutely, it's a terrifying thing to watch. And as you keep saying, this one hose of water keeps going for that. The centre of the fire there, but it doesn't seem to be enough. And some of we're watching as emergency services appear at the scene. Some of the cranes don't seem to be able to go high enough to tackle the blaze. So certainly there's still a lot of work to go as we watch now France. The dusk is approaching now over Notre Dame, and we know now that Emmanuel Macron, we're hearing now on French news, the French President and the Prime Minister Edouard Philippe, they are both on the scene being briefed by their officials, hoping, praying that this can be brought under control soon.
James Longman watching from our London bureau, and James, who has reported extensively on the protests in recent weeks in France that have not let up. In fact, President Macron was now on the scene being briefed by authorities, was set to address the nation tonight in a televised speech, one that had been recorded earlier, about the social unrest in his country that so far is not letting up. Instead, he's now facing another, certainly far more urgent crisis in Paris, and that is the fire engulfing much of the Notre Dame Cathedral. He did tweet a short time ago, "Our Lady of Paris in flames, emotion of a whole nation." He added thoughts for Catholics, and as we have mentioned here, and it bears repeating, it's Good Friday approaching, followed by Easter, and so many make that voyage to Paris and to the Cathedral at Notre Dame to pray during these holy days. And the president there adding, like all our countrymen, I'm sad tonight to see this part of us burn. John Dickens is a professor in Paris. He is an American citizen, but he's been living there for 2 years. And John, there are descriptions coming in to me now about people on the bridges over the Seine simply in awe and shock and watching this as dust falls over the cathedral as it continues to burn there in Paris. John Dickens, if you're still with us, we're getting descriptions coming in now. In fact, one quote just handed to me now from the Notre Dame spokesman André Finot telling French media, quote, "Everything is burning, nothing will remain from the frame." The 12th century cathedral, obviously home to incalculable works of art, one of the most famous tourist attractions in the world. And obviously, as we've been on the air now for the better part of 40 minutes or so, there is hope, certainly on our end, and prayers in Paris that something will be salvageable from the cathedral in Notre Dame. Some of those, jewels on the inside, the art, the stained glass. But from your vantage point, how much of that do you think will even be possible?
I gotta say, when this fire first started,
Lisa,
about an hour and a half ago, I was hopeful that they'd be able to get it under control.
Huh?
We just saw another portion of the roof collapse. We can see they've got a second hose that's hitting the flames now, but it's just the hose and then the water stream is so small compared to the size of the fire, even as the fire has started to burn itself down a little bit. The one thing we're still holding out hope for is the two towers, the big towers at the front of the cathedral. We've been watching. We haven't seen any flames coming out of the towers. We haven't seen any flames coming up the towers. So we're still holding out hope that those towers are going to stay standing when this is done.
Now, and John, I was struck by what you said there a moment ago, saying we now see a second hose, and just the mere idea that you can see from your vantage point only two hoses now at work trying to take down this massive fire that's engulfed the roof, and certainly much more of the Notre Dame Cathedral at this point. The roof in the beginning as we started monitoring this, and now we've watched the flames overtake much of that cathedral. We know that Parisians are in the streets, they're along the Seine, they are watching, aghast and in horror, as this fire engulfs one of the most famous cathedrals in the world, and certainly
and why did I do that?
In Paris.
So I guess this is the end of the video, guys.
French media at this hour that the entire wooden frame of the cathedral.
I'll probably play close, guys, but guess that's it, guys.
Some time ago,
this is the end of the video. Bye, guys.